they give you the autonomy to take your summer where you want to take it and what you want to do with it. Even my manager sent me a list of people to talk to. She also said, hey, like, this is what our project that we have kind of outlined for you, but it's kind of wherever you want to take it, whatever you want to do with the summer.
We're here across from the Walmart headquarters with Monica Sewell. Monica is a supply chain major graduating in December 2019, and she's currently a merchandising ops intern at Walmart here at the headquarters. Monica, could you tell us a little bit about merchandising ops?
Yeah, so essentially, I'm on the video game team for merchandising ops, and so essentially we have someone on the team who buys all of the video games, and this is similar to each specific department, but for mine specifically, we have someone who's buying the video games, we have someone who's continually replenishing the video games when they go out of stock or when they're running low, and then we have a planner who is basically just forecasting, planning things out, a lot of strategies involved in that, and then on my team we have an associate buyer who's under the buyer. But
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So that's just all supply chain right there, kind of coming together.
Yeah,
that's
much.
A pretty cool space to be in. So what are you working on this summer?
So Walmart is special with their internships, and each intern has a specific project to kind of work on throughout the summer and complete, and then present at the end of the summer. So mine specifically is looking at deleted inventory, which in simple terms is when something has a spot and then they decide to replace it with some new game or new software, and so then it doesn't have a spot anymore, but they haven't sold all of the games yet. So they're essentially floating, they're sometimes put in the back, sometimes just thrown on shelves. So my project is to work on strategies to reduce what they currently have in deleted inventory and prevent it from happening in the future.
So how are you using supply chain in your job this summer?
Yeah, so as I said, basically all of merch ops is supply chain.
Yep.
When to have things where they should be, where they should be. I've been working with our replenishment manager a lot to identify different strategies to where she can stop replenishing it a certain date before it gets deleted, so that hopefully it'll phase out by the time you get there to that date. So that's one of the big supply chain things I've been doing this summer.
Okay.
Working a lot with the replenishment manager.
So what are some of the things that are going well for you then so far?
Yeah, I would say along that same note, I've been networking with so many different people and meeting so many different people. And along with that, I actually present my project next Tuesday. So
wow.
I'm pretty far along in the project process, and I'm finishing up my PowerPoint today, and so I can start practicing over it and getting ready for next Tuesday.
So that's really neat. So could you tell us a little bit about that process at least? I know you can't dive into the specifics of the details here in public, but the process. So was the intern really structured? Did they give you a plan? Did they do onboarding? Then you've got this presentation at the end. Who are you presenting to? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, so we have a 2 or 3 day orientation at the beginning, and one of the days we actually got to attend the stockholders conference that they have, which was really cool. There was a lot of famous people there. That was awesome. So we did an onboarding with all Walmart, Jet, Sam's Club interns. There's about 400 of us. And then from there, it's kind of specific to where you are interning.
Okay.
So some interns I know are just totally unstructured. It's like, hey, you go, you learn what you want to learn. And then others have a specific project.
Okay.
Like, these are the steps to do it. And then everyone has a presentation at the end, and that's kind of based on when your team wants to do it, and then based on whoever your team wants to have come.
Okay.
So mine specifically, I'm presenting with all the interns that are in entertainment, toys, and seasonal.
Okay.
Because that kind of rolls up all the VP in that area. So I think there's 4 interns in that area that are going to be all in the same 2-hour block.
What a great experience early on in your career to present to people like that
yeah.
in a real project. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. So, you know, I heard you tell me a little bit about your job this summer and, you know, earlier before this, and I know, you know, you really seemed like it was a lot of fun for you. Could you tell us, you know, what's getting you excited about this intern?
Yeah, I like it a lot simply because they give you the autonomy to take your summer where you want to take it and what you want to do with it. Even my manager sent me a list of people to talk to. She also said, hey, like, this is what our project that we have kind of outlined for you, but it's kind of wherever you want to take it, whatever you want to do with the summer. I go in and I'm not watched all the time.
That's cool.
They really like act like you are part of the team and you are just another member of each team.
What a great mix of, sounds like, you know, of mentoring, coaching, you know, but also not just controlling every detail, which, you know, you've heard us talk about in our program, you know, is one of the most important things is to be able to deal with ambiguity and figure things out yourself. And so that's really good to hear that you're getting that experience. So thinking about that, take a step back to, you know, your school and the Walton supply chain program. Can you tell us why you ever chose supply chain to begin with?
Yeah, I didn't really know what supply chain was when I chose it. Honestly, my parents were like, oh, this is a great area, you should do it. And so I was like, sure, why not? I don't really know. I know I want to do business, but I don't really know what I want to do. But as I kind of got into my classes, I really liked the analytical side to it. And then along with that, I like that there's so many possibilities and so many areas you can take it. You can pretty much do whatever you want with supply chain.
So true, so true. That's good. So another step back into our program. What was one of your best classes, and why?
My favorite class is actually the supply chain strategy class with Jessica Darby. That class was so fun because we were able to take kind of our own angle on where we wanted to go, because we each had a group project where we got to choose a company that we wanted to kind of evaluate their supply chain strategy of. And so that was really cool to kind of do a deep dive into whatever company you wanted to look into.
That's really cool. So now, imagine that you're talking to yourself as a sophomore, as a freshman, maybe. What advice would you give them?
I would say get involved in as many things as possible early on, because there's so many possibilities within specific clubs and different organizations, and there's so many opportunities that it gives you that you wouldn't have if you didn't do much and you just went to class. Yeah,
so case in point, I know you're really, really involved in WISE. Yes. Tell us a little bit about that and what you've done in that. I know you're the executive director, I can't remember the title, but senior director of WISE, right? Because you've been so involved in it, and just a thriving group. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, so WISE really started to gain popularity a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And I was first the officer or VP of finance for WISE, and that was awesome just because I don't really know much about finance, so it was cool to learn a lot about that. And then I became VP of communication, where I got to run the social media, and now I'm into senior director. I forgot to. So it's been really cool to kind of be on the inside of WISE and see kind of what's going on, the ins and the outs, and you also get so many opportunities to network with the people around Northwest Arkansas and even outside of Northwest Arkansas. And it's cool because it's a smaller group. We're not too big to the point where you feel like you don't really need to be at meetings. And Dr. Thomas is really awesome in the fact that she schedules so much, and she gives everyone so many opportunities to do cool things and go to cool opportunities.
So tell us, you know, if you can, just briefly about what's the purpose of WISE? Is it to help you become more wise? What is it? So
WISE is essentially, it stands for Women Impacting Supply Chain Excellence. Right. So it's more targeted towards bringing women up in supply chain, but it's not specifically just women's group or anything like that. Yeah. We do a lot of networking. We do a lot of professional development and just kind of learning about different things going on. Last semester we did a book club, which was kind of smaller, but we read a book and then each month we had kind of discussions about how it impacted us.
Okay.
So it's really just to grow and develop and network and meet people.
You've got such a cool internship. How did you find that internship?
Yeah, honestly, one of my friends who's a year older was connected with someone at Walmart, and so
Okay.
she said, oh, this girl is interested in Walmart, so I sent her my resume, and then from there I reached out and met them at the career fair.
Okay.
And then they choose however many people from the career fair that they want to interview, and then I interviewed, I think, the next day for
Yeah.
the position. So
Well, good for you
they
for
move fast.
taking that step, as well as to go back to the relationships you were talking about earlier on your job and how important those are. So
Yeah.
really good job there. So thank you, Monica, for taking the time to visit with us and share with us about your intern. Look forward to when you get back and hearing more about it. And we also want to thank the Peel Mansion and Gardens for allowing us to do this interview here. It's a fantastic place that's beautiful, and I would encourage anybody who's around